Nice tune, very rousing.
Have it. I've just about managed to figure that out. The Mega Geek's here. Just bear with me.
Woo! Oh, good time.
Hello, Ian.
Hello. How you doing?
Hello. Yeah, I'm all right. Are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Fine, definitely fine. How are
you? Up for the task?
Yeah, I guess wherever the task is.
Hello, Cockney. You all right?
All right, mate. How's it going, geezer?
Are you down the swimming pool again?
I cannot confirm or deny. I'm at an undisclosed location on the fringes of my Fortress of Solitude.
Fortress of Solitude.
So, we are here to kind of pamper to Cockney Spock a little bit because he just keeps banging on about Bladerunner. Don't you?
Do it. Yes, sir.
He's been stalking some of the bigger YouTubers with the question, is Deckard a replicant?
Yeah.
I'm just excited about the question. 39 years.
Hello, Sklavko.
Hello, Sklavko. 39 years, and I realise it's unresolved because it's still being debated. I think that in itself is it.
Well,
39 years and we're still discussing it. Amazing.
Speaking of 39 years, this is the first time I've seen it in 39 years today. So there you go.
Me. And he's taken your advice, by the way, the Geek,
with Polish subtitles.
Polish subtitles? Why has it got Polish subtitles?
Because I'm a cheap bastard and streamed it illegally.
Oh, okay.
But you didn't hear that from me.
He'll get the Blu-ray
than everybody else.
Okay, so I've done my research, so I'm taking this very seriously. So here we go.
Ooh,
look at that!
Nice.
Look at
Star
that.
Wars, it had like 3 classic posters all at the same time. This being one of them.
I remember that was the poster that I saw in Starburst that made me want to go and see it.
Yes. I had that poster on my wall. It was that
old
one.
school.
It was white
old
at the
school.
bottom of my blue. Yeah, Starburst.
Yeah, remember that?
Well, I believe it was that issue that covered the question. See, it started then. So,
are you sure it wasn't Looking?
Starburst and Looking. No, because I got both that week and Smash Hits.
I bet you. I bet you bought Jackie, didn't you?
I was the editor.
But you know what, right? I saw Blade Runner because of Starburst, because when I saw it, they were giving out free tickets to see it.
Ooh, that was you.
What it was it had a page and you had to cut out the ticket.
Yes.
So we queued up. It was Sunday morning. We queued up for, I don't know, 2 hours. The queue was right outside the cinema. We queued up and we waited and we went in the cinema and we saw it.
Oh, that was you. You got my place. I got out.
Were you disappointed, elated?
I was disappointed with the film. Of course I was, because at the time, it was all Star Wars and pew pew and stuff like that. So we thought that was the kind of film it was. We thought it was a pew pew film because he's got a gun in his hand and it looks futuristic, and we thought that's what it was. And it was Harrison Ford, Han Solo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The right man saw the film.
How old were you at the time?
I can't remember. When did it come out? What year did it come out?
1982. 82. I was 12. I don't know how old you were in 82. Wow, okay.
I think I was slightly older.
You'd probably would you be about 16, maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm not going to tell you.
Never ask a lady.
108.
He's 55. He must be.
Well, how old would I have been then when I saw it then?
16.
16, yeah.
So was it age certificate 15? So you was probably just old enough to watch it.
He looks a lot
was there
younger, doesn't he?
was there 15?
There was a 15. No, that was an
Right.
issue. That was an issue. I was technically too young to see it anyway, so I
Yeah.
guess I got locked out.
And still
Actually,
too young to see it.
I am. No, I got locked out twice. It was just I couldn't. I actually had to wait until 1994 to see it in the cinema. I was gagged 12 years of hurt.
You were
Can
gagging
imagine?
for it.
Twice I got turned down at the cinema. I was like fated not to see it at the flicks first time round.
So,
Unbelievable.
Ian, so when I watched it this evening, it very, very much reminded me of the special effects. Reminded me of Close Encounters.
Yeah, it's done by Doug Trumbull. Same.
You know,
guy.
with the kind of
nice link.
lens flare effects, kind of engines and stuff.
Yeah, it was done. It was the special effects was done by Doug Trumbull, who done the special effects for Close Encounters. Yeah, so he was the same guy.
To be fair, they
Geek
did
knows his
look. They
onions.
still hold up pretty well when I saw it tonight.
Yeah. They do indeed. You know, you see the wires on the car when it was taken off though in one shot.
The spinner.
The spinner. You see it. You know the bit where they go in, Gaff and Deckard gets in, and then it takes off, and you see all that smoke, and then you can just see the wires pulling it up. But you know, I mean, that's how they did it in those days, I guess. But you know,
pre-CGI.
Yes, definitely.
Obviously, because now it was about set in 2019.
Yeah,
I believe November.
Something went wrong.
yeah, November. It said November 2019 in the beginning, didn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I said, I was 16. I was bored with it. I was bored when I was watching the cinema. I was so bored as it was going through.
Do you know, I realised because someone was trying to bait me in the chat yesterday, going, Campier doesn't like Blade Runner. Campier doesn't like Blade Runner. Oi, Cockney. And I was just like, sir, it doesn't matter. And I think it's just to clarify that it can be, you're a perfect example. You didn't like the film, but you've given it enough thought to have an opinion, even if it's the wrong one, on the Deckard issue. So it just goes to show, without liking a film, you can still, pay attention to it, note the dynamics and so forth. Just as much as, I don't know if it works the opposite way, you can have a brilliant film that you really loved, but you didn't really pay attention to it.
But I think even Harrison Ford said that because they were asked his opinion whether he was a replicant, and Harrison Ford said no, he's not.
Oh, I thank you. He's right into the debate. I didn't realise he was going to do that. But
can we just hold back on that? Can we just hold?
No, I've got to. No, he said.
No. Listen, can we just hold back on that a moment? I don't know about you, Ian, but when I was watching it tonight, where they started going, because according to the film, they've colonized space. And I thought, well, wouldn't that be a more exciting film?
No, I don't know. I look, as I said, throughout the years, I've seen it again, and I appreciate it for what it is. Because in those days when I was 16, I didn't know what film noir was. Right. And as I was growing up and trying to be a filmmaker and stuff like that, I learned all these things. And film noir is exactly what it is. It's kind of like a punk. It's like a sci-fi film noir. That's what it is. And as I said, when I watched it again, I realized how much I missed first time round, and I watched it again, and I enjoyed it the second time I watched it again.
Okay.
But I was still a bit bored though, because the film doesn't meander quite a lot.
Blade crawler.
Yeah.
But it's a good point about space. No, I want to answer that point about space. When they do Blade, because I am the campaign for Blade Runner 3. I'm just going to keep on about it till they make one. More Blade Runner. And you're right. And therefore, the solution is 20% of Blade Runner 3 must be set in space. Because, Brown, you're right. They're missing an opportunity for excitement. Expand it.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, I'm looking at the production role, and the story was based on Do Androids Dream of Electric
Sheep.
Electric Sheep by
Philip K. Dick.
Who seems to crop up quite a lot on my streams, like Starship Troopers and Total Recall and stuff like that.
Total Recall was based on We Can Remember It For You Wholesale, a short story by Philip K. Dick.
Yeah, he's a very good writer.
Do you think Total Recall is kind of linked to?
Yes. Thanks for rolling it in, because it also has a central question. It also has a central question.
Is that the space part?
I'll get to my point.
10 minutes. Go on.
Point on 10 minutes. Yes, nice link because Total Parallel, and there's a parallel essay coming. Total Recall also has a central question. The first point being a lot of people don't even know it's a question, which is the whole thing a dream? Exactly comparable. Some people say yes.
It
some
does
people
crop
say
up.
no. They're both wrong. I've got the answer for you. That's next week. Spot on. Because the thing is, it's a known unknown. It's a deliberate question. So that's the thing. Where with Blade Runner, I'm not sure if they intended it to be such a question. I still think it's an accidental question. But that in itself is another question which we'll get to. But yes.
Have you read the novel Cockney Spock?
Yeah, it got me into reading books. I read it because I like the film so much. So yes.
So how close is the film to it? Because I've never read the novel.
Massively different.
Right.
Two different things altogether. Well, no, half and half really. But it does bring up the first point because, as with Total Recall, and I've been even having this debate in the last couple of days. We're going, but in the book, and my point is, yeah, the book's bollocks. It's just like Game of Thrones. It's just in terms of canonical verisimilitude or canonical fealty. But as soon as you've made an adaptation, you know it's going to be differing in some way. Now, you could argue sometimes it's a small difference, sometimes it's a huge difference. Game of Thrones, Lady Stoneheart. But in binary terms, as soon as you change one bit of dialogue, it is now a separate canon, a separate universe, a separate timeline. So although for reference, I have read the original book and story respectively. Do Android Dream?
Was it a good book?
Nah, bollocks.
Right,
I
so
know.
See, that's
I
why
know, they had to get the rights for the word Blade Runner because it belonged to something else.
A separate book. See, it's not even the same
Yeah,
title. Exactly.
And
exactly.
So Ridley Scott had to literally because he liked the word Blade Runner, so Ridley Scott literally had to ask the studio to pay for the rights because it was on another book.
William S. Burroughs.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a double thing too, because there was a William S. Burroughs book and there's yet another book because it was literally in the original book, not by William S. Burroughs, if I'm correct on this. Fact checkers.
Who did the
They were
Naked
literally
Lunch?
William S. Burroughs. Now, top tip: if you're ever going to shoot an apple, don't put it on your wife's head. Top tip.
I think Blade Runner was about running, wasn't it? Like I'm jogging.
Literal blades. No, it was literally blades. It was a literal Blade Runner, as in surgery.
Oh, I see. Meaning. Okay.
Because they never explain it. It's like, it's one of the is it a mystery or non-mystery? What is a Blade Runner? Why are they called Blade Runners in Blade Runner? There's no blades. It sounds like done it. Is that a subtext?
That's exactly
just a fancy name.
Yeah, that's what Ridley Scott thought. He thought it sounded like a really great name, and that's why
meaningless. So busted, meaningless.
Or in your case, false advertising.
Bollocks Runner.
Well, when I saw the poster, as I said, when I was 16 and I saw the poster, I felt cheated because it did look like it was an action-packed sci-fi. And as I said, because you had Han Solo in it. You had Han Solo on the cover. I thought it was going to be that kind of film, but it wasn't. So at 16 years old, of course I was going to be disappointed with it, surely.
I guess science fiction elements aside, that's like the difference between a thriller and an action movie, like Star Wars without sci-fi is an action movie, where Blade Runner's a thriller. And actually, I like both. I like pew 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 all day long, but I also like the ones where it's just very little action, but then it's more because I see what people mean by Blade Crawler, but I never felt it. Just I wouldn't debate it. That is purely the instinctive level of filmmaking. Subconsciously, I was just like, nicely paced.
And the photography was absolutely brilliant.
I must admit, it did look. This is the first time I've seen the part up to when Harrison Ford gets it on with Sean Young.
Yeah,
and
Rachel.
Rachel. It's the first time I've seen it in a long time.
39 years.
It does look good. I can imagine how when you saw it in '82.
The thing is,
it looked amazing.
When I saw it in '82, remember the cinemas were projecting via film, and when they were projecting via film, you didn't know what kind of print you were going to get, and so when I think I saw it in one of the Odeons, but not in the square. It was an Odeon cinema that was just off the square, so it looked okay, but that's what
there was no kind of contrast in the old days, was there? It's just kind of very the picture looked
Yeah, I
not
mean, it
as
looks okay, but obviously the digital version, the version that we see now, looks absolutely spectacular, doesn't it? You know,
we
the old one
are.
and the new one. You know,
We are very lucky when the cinemas are open now that the picture quality is pretty damn fine, to be
yeah,
fair.
yeah,
Literally.
yeah.
That's when they're open.
The last time I saw a film on film was I think it was one of Tarantino's movies. I think it was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I got invited to one of the screenings, and Tarantino wanted it to be projected via film.
Yeah, he
So we
specifically
went to
wants
see it.
that.
Yeah,
That
so we
is-
saw it on film.
Name dropping. Ooh, was it?
No,
yes,
I mean, I was invited to the screen, but I don't know Tarantino. Do you know what I mean? I don't know him. So, but yeah, he was there and he did a talk afterwards. You know what I
Did you
mean?
like the film? Did you like the film, by the way?
Which one?
Hollywood.
Yeah, it was okay. The thing about Tarantino films is you can only watch it once. I don't feel compelled to watch a Tarantino film again, and that includes all his movies. In fact, you know, even Pulp Fiction. I've only seen Pulp Fiction once. No, that's a lie. I've seen it twice. I do not like the Bruce Willis story, the beginning of the Bruce Willis story, because that's as boring as hell. But the rest of it is quite good. So I think Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction are the only two films I've seen twice. But everything else following after that, I've only seen once.
I'd probably agree
Reservoir
with
Dogs.
you. You've got to be really in the mood to watch one.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Anyway,
You have to.
getting back to what we're talking about.
So close, though.
Okay,
I've
so
got a huge thing on Reservoir Dogs, just to bookmark that since you went there.
Ridley Scott obviously directed. Was this the film he did after Alien?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
it was. Yes,
Because
it was.
when I was watching the film tonight, a lot of the graphics looked like Alien. To be fair,
Purge.
Yeah.
It looked like Alien.
He well, basically, right, and nobody would say this, and I know a lot of people that know Ridley Scott, and you know, I'm probably going to get crucified for this, but at that moment in time, he wasn't very good at directing actors. So, you know, in Alien, the reason why everybody sounds so natural is because he wasn't really directing them. Basically, he was more concerned about the way the film looked and the way things happen. And in Blade Runner, you can see he was very concerned about the photography, the way things looked. And Harrison Ford could complain all the time that he wasn't getting any direction from Ridley, you know, and you know, and that's why they fell out over Blade Runner, because Harrison Ford wanted it one way, Ridley wanted it another. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So that's why they fell out, kind of. And at one point, Harrison Ford was saying, "Look, he's not giving me anything." And then when it came to the studios demanded that he did a voiceover because they didn't understand the picture or the film, as we call it. Harrison Ford was so pissed off, he just done it in a dull voice, the voiceover in a dull voice. You know, what I mean, that's why he sounds so bored. With
he has denied that, by the way. He's on record on YouTube. Specifically, he said, "No, I'm just a shit actor." He's specifically, literally, fact checker denied.
But you know what, right? Seriously, I've made feature films, right, and I can honestly, truly say that things get twisted, especially as time goes by, and also sometimes you say things that will cover your ass because you've done something bad in the past. I've done it millions of times when, you know, being interviewed about some of the films I've directed in the past, and you know, you wax lyrical, don't you? That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a weird choice to say. Anyway, I don't know. It's a moot point, I guess. Although I don't know, we could start talking about the voiceover. Although I really want to cover, because we've now covered it or edged upon it a second time, the fact that Harrison Ford has mooted an opinion about the whole topic here. Is Deckard a replicant or a human?
Yeah.
Right. And as you've mentioned, Harrison Ford's got an opinion.
You just want to go wading in, don't you? We'll get into it.
Oh, you don't want to? Okay.
Don't you? You just want to go full throttle, don't you?
He's so critical. No, I'm acknowledging the magic.
Listen, mate.
The magic Mega Geek has brought it up not once but twice. I'm simply acknowledging it. He's mentioned it earlier.
Fine, I know not a lot about this film, and I'm totally winging it now. So, so getting back to the film, obviously,
I was talking about the film.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to it. Hang fire. So, obviously, Ridley Scott directed, starring Harrison Ford. The late great Rutger Hauer.
Yeah.
Was it Sean Young? Was it her first role?
Apparently so. I don't know. I think it was.
Stripes was after.
And, of course, you're right.
And
I think Stripes was 80. No, so it's not her first role. Stripes.
And Commander Adama was in it as well.
Edward James Olmos.
Yes,
with his kind of funny-looking contact lenses while he was with his paper unicorns as well.
Yeah, that's basically meant to say that he was a replicant, basically. All those things.
He was.
No, was meant to say that Harrison Ford's character was a replicant.
Right.
And as Cockney Spock knows.
Yeah, and Brown actually mentioned it off air, so we've all independently noted
I did.
that, so we're on the same page there.
I'll just also notable mention Vangelis.
Yes.
It's amazing how today it's probably the first time I've seen it in maybe 30 years, and I could just do the music in my head while it was on, note for note. So it just shows what an amazing soundtrack.
Yeah,
which they didn't release for 12 years. We had to wait 12 years
it's
for that soundtrack.
Good. So good.
Why was that Cockney Spock? Why did they release it?
I believe it was a mix of copyright reasons and Vangelis. This is really weird.
Hello, viewers.
Vangelis didn't want to be known as a soundtrack artist, even though he did 1492 and Chariots of Fire. But basically, we got the orchestral version, bollocks. And then I think it was about 3 years later.
Is your Tourette's going again?
How dare you? Bollocks, bollocks. He got we got a compilation album called Themes, which was actually soundtrack music, and we got about 5 tracks there. They just it literally just ringing it out. And
I used to listen to John and Vangelis around about that time. They were ace.
Yeah, they were.
So 94,
is he still about, Vangelis? Sorry, Cockney.
I don't know.
94, we got the soundtrack, but then to this day, there's a bootleg soundtrack, a whole nother soundtrack of music also from the film, which is it's an Italian import, which, being the nerd that I am, I got from a shop after I think its existence.
I think that's on it. There's someone that's actually loaded it up on YouTube. I think
by now.
Yes.
So there's basically
I've listened to it. Yes.
There's 2 soundtracks, and it's all amazing. And like the direction, I think very ahead of its time. Amazing. Vangelis, complete genius. Also recommend China on a side note. But brilliant soundtrack.
Any John and Vangelis is also worth listening. So, according to the list here, the budget was $30 million.
It's low, pretty low compared to they were saying it's pretty low.
Yeah, box office was 41.5 million, so
ouch.
Not even a hit, really, was it?
No,
domestic, international.
The reason why it wasn't a hit was because everybody wasn't expecting that type of movie. As I said, at that moment in time, we're talking about the 80s, we're talking about, fast moving, enjoyable movies. You're talking about Gremlins, you're talking about E.T., you're talking about all those kind of films. And then when Ridley Scott, who's well ahead of his time, brought this film out, everybody was like, what is this? Do you know what I mean? So, and that's why it flopped. It shouldn't have been released at that moment in time. That was the thing. So. And also the advertisement for it was misleading, very misleading.
Right.
They should have literally said this was an adult thing. Everybody thought it was sci-fi. Sci-fi's for kids. That's what everybody was thinking in those days. So
I was going to say 1982. The Thing flopped as well.
It did because
what a great film that is.
Because of E.T. It flopped because of E.T. Yeah.
Damn that extraterrestrial bastard.
I really liked
extraterrestrial phone bollocks.
I liked E.T. It's one of my favourite movies of all.
Yeah, the end gets me every time. It's been a while since I've seen it again, but anybody who doesn't tear up at the end is heartless.
I'm heartless then. Sports. Boring.
Yeah,
move
but
on.
Cockney, you've purged emotion though, haven't you? You're just pure logic these days.
I am. It's it's the Vulcan. You're getting onto the Vulcan theme. People don't realise. Yeah, exactly. Yes, sir. Emotions bad.
Yeah, but you've got a sister. You've got a sister called Michael Burnham, and
have I? Fuck. Not in the Wayne. Not in the Wayne.
Stepsister, mate.
I'll tell you what. She's my sister. Exactly that. She's me. Don't even go there on the Wayne timeline. Fucking Cockney Burnham's in for a right old mare. Oh, that's what we're going to do. Cockney Discovery. Fuck me, no. Cockney Spock is not going to be happy. Oi, Burnham, no.
Why did I call her Michael? That was the question.
Fuck knows.
Fuck knows. Exactly. No reason, because she's dominating men, playing them at their own game. I'll take your name, blokes. Wee. I'm Michael Burnham.
So going back to Blade Runner.
Yeah, I was going to say we don't want to talk about that shit.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Right. So as I said, I've seen it today. And...
What did you think of it though? How was your feeling after seeing it again? After
I've seen about 1 hour 10 minutes of it, and straight away I picked up on the clue straight away. I kind of think I know what it is. Plus, I've seen.
You're right there, Cockney Spock. Are you choking?
I'm not laughing. No, I'm tearing. I'm tearing up, mate. Because
okay.
Carry on.
Listen, I don't want anybody. I don't want a guest to die on stream live.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay.
No, because we might be struggling if me and Ian have to fill for you.
Oh yeah, no, it would be selfish, wouldn't it? Still, might up the ratings. I'll bear it in mind. But, yeah,
I was going to say what I did notice was Daryl Hannah.
Yeah,
that was her first. Was that her first role as well?
I don't know.
That was pre. That was pre-Splash, wasn't it? Splash.
Was Splash 83, 84 then?
Yeah, I think 84 was it? Disney.
I think. Yeah. I'm sure a database will confirm she must have had minor roles at that point, but she was not a superstar or a household name quite yet. So good point.
So my kind of thoughts was, it's just lots of atmosphere.
Yep.
It looks great.
Yep.
Obviously, I know they're after the 4 replicants that jumped ship, aren't they?
Yep. Or 5. No, it's 4. Definitely 4.
Rutger Hauer's a bad motherfucker.
Probably the leader.
Well, the thing is, though, the question is he a bad guy? And when I think about it, I don't think he was. Obviously, what he did was bad, but he just wanted to know why.
Apart from the murders,
because he was programmed to be basically the ultimate soldier, wasn't he?
Yeah, but what the thing is, it's a reasonable question. Why do I only live for so long, and how comes you made me
4
this
years?
way? Yeah, it's a reasonable question, isn't it? All he wanted was an answer. Everybody was trying to stop him from getting to the person that created him. That was the thing.
Going back to when it was out originally, I was probably like you. I probably didn't. I was probably too young to appreciate it or understand it. I think it was. It was probably a little bit too grown up for its own good.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And as I said, Ridley Scott, he was well beyond his time. I remember looking at the making of, and the bit where Deckard meets Rachel for the first time. Yeah, he had the reflection of water dancing around. And I remember in the making of, somebody said to him, "Why are we having that? There's nothing to make that source, that shadow." Right. And he said, "I don't care. It looks really good. I want it in."
And so that is good directing.
And that was in 2049 as well.
Cinema, you wankers.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing. You see, that's the thing. He was more concerned about that than performances. Via Harrison Ford and Sean Young, and he's more concerned.
Ideally, you want both.
I think I will definitely finish watching it so I can view it through a 52-year-old.
I'm pretty sure that I'll be countermanded when somebody watching this, or someone that was actually on set saying, "I'm talking bollocks." He did direct.
We all do,
stuff
mate.
Like that. I'm pretty sure that somebody's going to say that. But as far as I know, and the stuff that
you're
I
tight
know,
on the facts. So far, I think we've all been fact checking each other and ourselves. I believe everything we've said so far is true, correct, and accurate to the best of any confirmable knowledge. Yeah. I'll take the Pepsi challenge on any Blade Runner facts. If I don't know it, I'll say. But because I don't know the financials, but I'll tell you
30 seconds.
Okay. Basically, I can't get my head around inflation, so the numbers are meaningless. Because in today, do you know what? I really wish.
20 seconds
cinema on the half hour. Why don't they just measure tickets sold? That's inflation proof. If they measured on every film, how many tickets did you sell?
10
you wouldn't have to adjust for inflation, would you?
Yeah.
So Why are they always obsessed with just the money?
It's the money, isn't it? It's what makes the world go round, isn't it? And
That and
takes
centrifugal
success.
force.
But a lot of
Right.
people have to realize that money is like money is like fuel for a car. The objective of doing things is to actually make something. You know, money is nice to have, right? But you know, money it's like a car. You know, if you don't have money, the car's not going to run. And when it comes to business, if you don't fill the car with, you're not going to go anywhere. The objective is to actually achieve something,
like
not
this
to make more money. Not to make more money, because Hollywood sees them making more money. Hollywood always sees us making more money, and that's where they always go wrong. It's not about the money. It's about making enough money so you can make another one, so you can achieve something. That's what money's there for, not to accumulate it and say I'm the richest bastard in the world, because that makes no sense to me. Anyway.
Boop, boop.
Yeah.
Boom! Have that.
Have
The
that,
Mega
Hollywood.
Geek has left the building. The Mega Geek has left the building. 31
Do that
minutes.
when you're at the BBC.
Hello, viewers.
Do that one. Do that speech at the BBC. They'll give you a 5-year contract.
We're going to get into the meat of it now, guys. Yeah,
Right,
it's 31 minutes. So
Let's dive in.
the main we came on tonight to discuss both sides of the coin, as it were.
Central question.
And Cockney Spock, what is that central question? Remind the people at home.
It boils down to this: is Deckard, Rick, a replicant or a human? That is the question.
Who wants to go first?
Hello.
Let Cockney Spock go first, because he's
32 minutes. Over to you.
Only to answer.
By the way, before Cockney, before you go, one of our regular viewers has arrived. Real Jones. Hello, sir.
Hey, Real Jones.
Right, 32 minutes. Cockney, go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
I'd like to address basically the Mega Geek's last point there about Harrison Ford's opinion. And in this case and others, we can extrapolate rules that we could apply to other film discussions, so we can be consistent.
Cockney, before you go any further, do you think is he a replicant or not? First of all,
see, that is a trick question.
What is your side of the coin?
Okay, it's with a big asterisk, replicant, but a big. I've learned to listen to others. But that's you forcing me into a corner to give a binary answer, and I'm doing you that honor. I'm in the replicant corner. But it is, I have learned to listen. That's right. And it's a far more nuanced and complex discussion. There's many fun. That's why this is heaven for me, because it needs to be. I want to be talking to a couple of real nerds. But yeah, just for a bit of fun. Basically, because the old me would have gone, human, you're a wanker, you're wrong, I'm right, fuck off everyone, way seconds out. You know what I mean? So it's not about that. It's about basically the gift of Blade Runner is that we can have this discussion. Yeah. Whether it's two viewers or the 10,000 we're going to get, because hence the book. I believe it's a burning topic. If you've seen Blade Runner, you've got to be asking yourself this question. Otherwise, you're missing out on it. So the central point.
Go on.
Well, that's my central point. It's essential to.
You love it though, don't you?
I love it. You love it.
You love it.
Well, you know what? I'll argue with myself. I'm so ignorant. I was not aware of the question when I first saw it. What's my excuse? I was 12. I think you're quite right, Mega Geek. I was probably waiting for the pew, pew, pew. And I must have been at that right age. Maybe it triggered puberty in between that Raiders and Empire.
Puberty.
Harrison Ford was pew, pew, brilliant t-shirt, pew, pew, puberty. I think Harrison Ford basically programmed me with the trifecta of the perfect 3 female leads in Raiders, Empire, and Blade Runner in 80, 81, and 82, not in that order.
Boy around this time, wasn't he?
Sean Young, Ding Dong, Karen Allen, Yes Please, Carrie Fisher in her prime, Ding Dong, and Yes Please.
He did have an affair with her, didn't he?
He did, that lucky sausage. It was true. Han and Leia did it. Hooray! Yeah. I was so happy when I heard that. It does cross over into real life. They really did it.
Yes.
Boop, boop. He hid in a cupboard, something like that.
So anyway, getting back to Blade Runner, go on.
Yeah, come on now. Right, central point. So your central point. I think it's So I got it wrong. We're 15 points that we've already got off the track with. The last
So,
one being.
so what you're saying is
I-
you're disagreeing with yourself now.
I was myself ignorant of the existence of the question. I managed to watch Blade Runner. I was at that right age, going back to the ladies triggering puberty.
Right.
I should have been bored by it. I've been listening to what listening to what Mega Geek said. I should have been bored by it. I was just at the right age to appreciate the slow atmosphere, the
Slow burn.
Yeah, because I see what is one of those things. I see what you mean, but fortunately for me, I didn't get that.
It was like 2049. It was a cinema experience.
Slow burn. No, it's perfect.
Yes.
But again, I've got 15 points. I got derailed off. But yeah, I didn't see it myself, so I was so busy enjoying it. It was, I believe, that Starlog article that alerted me to the question: is he a replicant? And then you go back. Bloody, but for me, it was one of those like, that's already the best film ever made, and now it's even better. Mind blown. Puberty triggered. And that's what it was. It was. I already loved it, and it was even better. Sorry.
So why do you think he's a replicant then?
Yeah, I was going to say, what were the signs of him being a replicant? Come on,
do you know what? As you may be aware, I've literally done 8 videos on the subject in one day, a couple of days ago, and I
you're a busy boy.
But I didn't even cover the central argument, because for me, it's like, what's the bloody film? It's self-evident. I'll talk about this for literally 3 more hours, and I don't.
Well, you'll be on your own, mate, because we're not going to be here.
All right, but my point being, all right, well, I won't, but I could.
I'll listen. Turn the lights off when you finish, mate. All right.
My point being, I could talk solid for Blade Runner for 12 hours.
God.
My point being that I don't ever have to even spend a minute talking about actually backing up my argument, because my argument.
Oh, here you go.
Just the chat. The bloody.
Here you go. The chat. This is for you.
And
I will agree with that, Real.
What did he say?
Absolutely spot on, Real. Absolutely spot on, my friend.
You always interrupt me when I'm building to a point. You blue ball me. Conceptual blue balls. Conceptual blue balls. Thank you. But good interruption. The unicorn. My general.
It was a good interruption, yes.
All right, but my general point it being that in 12 hours of talking about Blade Runner, I only have to talk about the central argument for 1 minute, and even 3 seconds, and it's this.
Listen, I'll give you 2 minutes, mate.
All right, the unicorn, he's right. The unicorn is the central, you can't ignore it. How can you think he's a human when you've seen that he dreams of being a unicorn? Metaphorically, it means purity. And literally, it's centrally the fact that Gaff leaves an origami unicorn, and Brown hasn't even seen
that's the Commander Adama character.
Correct.
Gaff. Yeah, Gaff.
Yeah, Gaff. Brown knows he's for a promotion.
Is he human or replicant?
Yes, that's not a question.
There's
another
question.
show next week. Is he?
Because I need to watch the other half of the film, basically.
But that's literally the thing. You see, that's the question: whether Gaff was replicant or whether he was human.
What? I've never heard that question before.
So that could be like he knows.
Back to this.
So kind of just stepping back from that, he might know that he's actually a replicant.
Yes.
And he recognizes. And he recognizes.
Well, the thing is, he recognized the fact that
Harrison Ford.
But that's the thing. You see, that's the everybody says that because Harrison Ford is not human because he has the unicorn, doesn't he? At the end, so he knows what he dreamt.
He has a dream as well, right? I did notice he had a dream right at the very beginning.
There you go.
Who?
Harrison Ford. That he was dreaming unicorns, and I picked up on that straight away.
Deckard at the piano.
At the beginning,
I'd probably say about half hour. Half hour. Maybe.
When he's near the piano.
I was on my turbo trainer at the time, pedaling like fuck, but I did see it.
After they take out Leon.
That's what people say. Yeah, that's what people say, that he's a replicant because.
Yes.
Life on Apple Music.
Hey?
I was going to say at the beginning of this stream, wake up, time to scream.
But as I said,
I forgot.
It could be misconstrued, or there could be other reasons why he made that unicorn You know, and one of the other reasons is because.
But we're not getting to the main point, which is that, and Brown's not even seen it, and this is why Brown, without having seen what I'm about to say,
well, about 1 hour 10 minutes.
Right at the end, spoiler alert, switch off if you want, Brown. Right at the end, at the key moment, when basically Deckard goes back, not knowing if she's going to be alive or dead, picks up Rachel. He sees that Gaff had been there and let her live. Voiceover relevance, because he leaves a matchstick unicorn.
Yes.
So that's 2 unicorns, 3 if you include the dream. 3's the charm. 3 unicorns, 1 in the dream, 1 origami one earlier, and 1 matchstick one at the end. Plus, and now I myself have to bring up a diversion, even though I'm trying to get back to the central point about Harrison Ford's take on it. But never mind. We're going with the flow.
You can do it.
Okay, is when people go, but if he's a replicant, that ruins it, which is a side argument. So point A, so what if it ruins it? That's the fucking answer, he's a replicant. But point B, ruins it, it makes it. Has anyone ever heard of the film Sixth Sense? It's the same central idea. And this
no
is
spoilers on that one.
Yeah, what I didn't get, but basically Harrison Ford's quizzical expression, this is what you're paying your Harrison Ford megabucks for, is basically going, this is the twist ending. He sees the unicorn, meaning 2 things. 1, Gaff had been there and let her live. 2, he could have left anything, a banana, but he left a unicorn, meaning I've seen your dreams, you're a replicant.
How did he see his dreams?
3 things via a dream. Well, I like. Oh, he says it like he's got me cornered via the dream viewing device, of course.
What dream viewing device?
Well, have you not seen Blade Runner 3?
He was never scanned as a replicant, was he? So
now,
it was
this
not
is
in
where
the film.
Blade Runner 2049 comes in handy. Because
have you seen 2049?
Yes, I have, and I thought it was a terrible movie. I was bored with it.
Yeah, but it answers your point because she
No. They when they made the second.
He's interrupting now.
Yeah,
Cockney.
So when they made the second Blade Runner film, they made it on the pretense that he was a replicant. But when they made the first one,
That's wrong.
They did. Yes, they did. They did. They made the film.
I'll bet you.
No. They made the
children.
They made the film purely based on him being a replicant. That's what that's why they made it.
Wrong.
Because they wanted that story to work about Rachel having the child and all that stuff.
Is there a right and a wrong answer though?
Yeah,
there is playing because you two are getting quite heated here.
Not getting heated at all. Not at all.
Cockney is.
I'm perfectly relaxed. I'm just trying to get my point.
Yeah. But playing devil's advocate, is there a right or a wrong answer?
Yes.
There isn't.
Yes, there is.
There is no.
Just let me know.
Cockney, do me a favour.
I'm trying to answer
Cockney,
your freaking
turn
question.
Siri off, please. Yeah, turn Siri off.
I know, freaking Siri. I'm just literally taking
Siri,
it off now.
shut up.
Yeah, Siri, fuck off.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay if you that's the beauty of films, isn't it? That you can have great discussions about it.
All right, Cockney, we'll come back to you in a little bit. Yes.
No, I've got to answer that point.
No.
For you to bring up a point. And
all right,
me
listen.
it.
Okay.
I'm being picked on because I'm not allowed to answer your question. There's only
2 minutes.
Well, answer it.
Listen, you've got 2 minutes, and then we're going to go to Ian's side of the story at 45 minutes. Yes, that's my logic. So go.
Just simply answering a point.
Go for it.
If the director of a film explicitly says in an interview on whether he covered that Deckard is a replicant, then it's not subjective. He explicitly said in an interview that he is aware of the question and he's not going to answer it. And even though Blade Runner 2049 does rest thematically and plot-wise on whether certain people are replicants and new questions such as whether replicants can breed, he deliberately made a point of not answering this central question. And that is a fact. That is not an opinion. That is a fact because he said it in an interview. You can check it on the internet right now. And therefore, the second point that you made about facts and opinions is definitely a wise point. We should all be congratulated for getting here. Anyone that doesn't realize that there's a big difference between facts and opinions doesn't know anything. This is a verifiable fact.
Everybody's got one.
Now, exactly. Now, this is a fact about an opinion, but just to be absolutely clear,
hold on.
that Denis Villeneuve... just to be clear, that Denis Villeneuve has gone on record.
30
You
seconds.
can check
Ian.
it on the internet that he
Yeah, I know he said
deliberately
it.
made a point of not addressing the question that we're now discussing of whether Rick Deckard is a replicant. So you can check on the
15
replay.
seconds.
I know
of
he
this
said
show.
it.
I've 15 seconds without interruption, so I want injury time now. So you
All right, I'll
said
give you that, I'll give you
earlier,
that.
fact check, we rewind this show because it's being broadcast. You said earlier that it was, you're basically contradicting yourself, but now we're agreeing that he has confirmed that he has not covered the question. He deliberately avoided it. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But Ridley Scott said that he was a replicant, didn't he?
Well, that's what I've been trying to get to for half an hour, but I keep
You're
getting off the
very.
track.
Why are you, Cockney? Why are you so passionate about this film?
Ah, yes, thank you. Why am I alive?
We'll get to you in a minute, Ian. Just,
I mean, if you want a straight, solid, dark answer, what keeps you from suicide? What's the fucking point of being alive if you can't get passionate about something? I chose
true.
Blade Runner.
That is true. It's very true. Very true.
I salute you, sir.
Very true.
If you want to get serious, that's why. Because why am I
Right.
passionate about cinema? Why is it that a piece of it's not even film? Why is it that a series of pixels can evoke an emotional response, especially out of me, Cockney Spock, the unemotional geezer? Know what I mean?
Listen, I get it because I know. I'm passionate about certain films as well, and I know you're a very kind of turn it up to 11 type of guy.
Well,
so
I'm
yeah, I
passionate
can
about
appreciate
writing.
it.
I'm passionate
Yeah,
about writing.
yeah.
So actually,
Okay,
it's
so-
nice segue. Well, just as quick. Sorry,
So-
please, I'll be very. All right. Go on. So basically, passionate about
So
important
you
questions.
think
that's
you
why.
think he's a replicant?
I believe it is the intent. Well, okay. Answering both points, we're talking about what the central general question is: what is the importance of author intent? And that is debatable. You could actually, because you could one side extremely would say, well, of course it's author intent. It's the fucking author in it. What they intend goes. They're the decider. And that in a way, I'm already in that camp. Well, of course, but in the other extreme,
Okay.
I don't want to believe that Jake Skywalker, that hashtag not my Luke. So I am guilty of doing headcanon.
Dirty words.
I argued with myself. If you're going to be honest, you have to be consistent. So
You argued with yourself. Did you win?
Yeah, because
Or did you lose?
It only works as consistent as this. I
Okay.
decanonized Star Wars 7 to 9.
Before we go to the Mega Geek, the chat is really going crazy, and the latest question is this one's for you, Cockney.
Right.
Here you go. Oh, sorry,
you missed
it.
Okay. Which? Hang on. My screen's so small. I've got to.
How one Vulcan gets passionate.
Passionate me? That never happened. You will erase it from your memory.
I thought you'd purged all that anyway.
Well, that's your central point. Blade Runner
Who's the,
elicits emotions that E.T. and Schindler's List cannot.
Who's the Vulcan in Star Trek 5? What's his name again?
Cybok.
Cybok. You're Cybok, aren't you?
Yes.
Gang.
Cockney Cybok. Yeah, Cockney Cybok.
You Cybok. Oh, you Cybok in disguise.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
you
So,
Cybok in disguise.
Ian, why is Deckard a human? You're saying he's a human, aren't you?
Okay. Well, first of all, I
had
don't
to think
care.
about that then.
I really don't care whether he is or not, but I really don't. And the thing is, Cockney Spock is right. The director said he didn't want to answer the question, but Ridley Scott has gone on record saying that he is a replicant, definitely a replicant. He's like, he banged on about it, didn't he? And Harrison Ford was going, no, I'm not a replicant.
Yep.
They were both arguing over it, weren't they?
Yep,
so,
definitely.
But the thing is, though, as we all know, that Ridley Scott was one of the producers on the film, right? And since he's so connected to that film, he was kind of in charge. They let the director do what he did, but I reckon they made that film purely to say that he was a replicant, definitely. So that's the thing, So they're literally telling us that he's a replicant. But if you're talking about Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, and the guy comes with the unicorn and stuff like that, Gaffer the unicorn, stuff like that.
Yeah.
First of all, we never saw Rick Deckard in that dream machine, or the machine that he uses to determine who's a replicant or not, or human or whatever. We never saw
the
that.
Void Kampf.
Yeah, we never saw that. Secondly, right? And then the question is, how does he know about his dream? You know, with the unicorn, how does Gaff know about it? Since we never saw in the film that he was tested, right? So the thing is, that unicorn could have been for Rachel, because he knows that, you know, what is it? Replicants dream about certain things, and maybe that could have been him saying that the unicorn is here. I've basically, I understand where you're coming from. I'm going to let her go, so both of you are free. That kind of thing. Could have been saying that, but who knows? I mean, maybe Cockney Spock is right. But when I saw it again, I was puzzled whether he was or not.
When was the last time you saw it?
A couple of years ago, actually, 2 years ago.
Right,
I saw it again. So I was completely. In fact, the last time I saw it was the original version with the voiceover in it and everything. Because I like the original version with the voiceover, even though a lot of people don't like it, but I do, because that's the version I saw when I was 16. So and you know, and I wanted to see that version again, and I saw it. And that's the thing. See, at the ending, it doesn't really give you an answer. And I understand they plastered that scene on at the ending when he's driving in the car with her. You know, they had that shot from The Shining, and he's driving in the car. You know? Yeah. So, and I understand that the reason why they put that there, because at that moment in time, the audience was confused, and a lot of people that watched the film before it got released in cinema, especially the director heads of the studio, was confused as well. And that's the thing about making films, right? If you make something that's a chore to watch, or something that's complicated, then people, the normies, are not going to really attach themselves to it. Therefore, box office, you know, goes down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's something to that.
You know, to one person it might be utter crap, but to other people it could be treasure.
Totally agree.
I mean? So,
Totally agree. So that's what I'm saying. The normies weren't ready for that type of film. Now it's a treasure. It's, you know, you watch the film and you watch it and you think it's
so what you're saying is it was too far ahead of its time.
Of course it was. And Cockney Spock knows that at all.
They weren't ready for the question.
They weren't ready at all for that kind of movie.
The funny thing is, at 51-51, we're just approaching.
That's not valid.
In segue territory of like the very. I made some notes, and we've not even got to the first note. But this is why I love this, because this is for, you know, that's why it's so passionate, because it's, for me, the question is, does it matter? Or
it doesn't matter.
Does it matter to you though, Cockney?
Well, that's the thing. It is wise to acknowledge there's no such thing as the isness. When people say it doesn't matter, there is no is. Does it matter to you? For me, it does improve the film, although, again, I wasn't even aware of it in the first place. So it's not necessary. For me, but I accept what you're saying. To some people, it's the question gives them a headache. We don't want to know. Just shoot someone, Harrison. You're right. I like the question. For me, it accentuates the film, but I now see this is why it's good listening. For some people, it's like, I don't want the question. Fuck off.
Well, yeah, when I was 16 and I saw the climax at the ending, you know, where Harrison Ford's holding on to the beam, and then basically he saves him. When I was 16, I never understood that. I was like, what a crap climax. I was saying in my head, I was like, that's so crap. Why didn't you just blow his head away? You know, you know what I mean? And when I was 16, that was the thing.
Longer lasting sneeze.
When you watch something like that, you know, as a 16.
I'm totally with you on that, because I watched it on the old VHS days. And very, very adult, wasn't it?
And that's the fault. That's the fault of the movie. You know, if you want to call it a fault, that is that Ridley Scott was way ahead of his time, and he was trying something that was completely new, that wasn't going in the same lines of the films of that era. So that was the thing.
Do you think? Well, you say Ridley Scott was ahead of his time. Don't you think the script was ahead of its time?
The script was. Well, I think he had a hand in the script as well. Did he not?
Right. I don't know. I don't know.
Nor do I. But if he did,
Cockney, you're rustling.
It was Hampton Fancher and just Cattle. Hampton Fancher, then David Peoples. But I'll tell you what, I'm still fascinated by the central question of the question. For me, it helps. For some people, it hurts. But the thing is, I don't even know if the question was intentional.
Oh, we go.
Yet another thing. But the thing is, here's another point. I hope this helps.
Question. Statement from Sklavko. Sorry.
Yeah. Go. Oh, I was just let me just quickly wrap this up.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you. It's basically, it's not a choose your own adventure. Whether they, even if Ridley Scott didn't intend it to be such a question, the question is there. And it's not a choose your own adventure, and that's my central point about why I'm passionate about it. Because it doesn't matter. It's like, well, no, that's the whole central premise of a film is suspension of disbelief. You are believing in that world, and so it's not like The Italian Job where you don't know what happens because we cut out. Oh, did they get the gold or did the bus go down the mountain?
Did they get off the bus? Yeah.
We're not debating that because there's no answer. But my central initial point at 55 minutes is that it's not a choose your own adventure. It's not a choose your own ending. There is an answer in
the original was. The original was it. They didn't intend 5 different versions of the film, did they? When they done the original version.
A message
the original
from
version's meant was to actually stop right there, wasn't it?
Message from Sklavko in the chat. When I was 16, a replicant would come in very handy. Well, I've got news for you, mate. I'm 52. And a replicant would come in very handy at 52. So
your basic pleasure model.
I think it's all ages. It's all ages, to be fair, mate.
Top tip, folks. Never fall in love with your replicant.
Look, there's a lot of people
your rubber doll
about it, and the thing about it for me, I mean, even though Cockney Spock feels that way, to me, it doesn't really matter whether he's a replicant or not. To me, it really doesn't matter. And it didn't spoil my enjoyment when I saw it 2 years ago as well. And I didn't ask the question after I saw the original version either. I just went for the ride, watching it, enjoying the visuals and stuff.
Do you think it's a masterpiece? A masterpiece?
It is. I guess it's grown into a masterpiece. Because if you went back originally when it was released, all of the studio heads were going, "Wow, we wasted money there, didn't we?" Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Can you appreciate it now at your age?
Of course, I can appreciate. Just like I can appreciate 2001 that I hated when I first saw it.
Boring.
Yeah. But as I said, it didn't. I can't lie about how I felt originally when I saw Blade Runner, and that's what ticks people off when I say that. Look, I thought it was boring. Everybody's like, "What? It was boring. What are you talking about? It's a classic." It wasn't a classic then, mate.
Speaking of boring films, I thought the Nolan film Interstellar.
Yeah, I thought that was boring.
Boring as fuck.
Mm.
It looked amazing. It looked amazing.
You know what it is, right?
Boring.
When someone important says something, and for a lot of people, like if an important critic says something is really good, this used to happen in the old days, not now though, because of technology and stuff. Right? Yeah. When a critic that was respected said something was good, a lot of people would go and see it, right? And it's like a cancer; it would spread, and everybody says it's good, right?
Barry Norman.
If you just basically don't listen to anyone and go and see it, and then
82.
come to your own conclusion.
Yeah.
You would come to your own. As I said, when I saw Blade Runner, I heard nothing about it. The only thing I saw was the poster on Starburst. Went to see it, didn't like it. You know what I mean? Everyone around me, my cousin that went with me, loved it. He said it's fucking fantastic, and I was like, really? Do you know what I mean? So I can only tell you how I felt when I first saw it, and that's how I felt. There's no two ways about it. What can I say?
Yeah, it's for me, I just think it's one of those kind of you go and it's kind of like an experience type of film. You're in the, it's very kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It indulges itself. Yeah, it indulges itself.
Yeah.
So you maybe need to be in the right frame of mind. I don't know. With Blade Runner 2049, I thought, okay, I think I know. I've not seen Blade Runner for a long time. I think I know what I'm going to get. And I just went to see it, and I enjoyed it because of how it looked, the soundtrack, blah, blah, blah. It was a long film, but I was there for the experience, and I liked it a lot. But
I was there for the experience as well, but I fell asleep halfway through. It was so bored.
I thought the music, especially, I remember just everybody had left the cinema, and I was just there, just listening to the music right at the front.
It should never have been made. The second one should never have been made.
You think so?
Yes, never have been made. They just made it because they could. They didn't ask the question whether they should, if you know what I mean. So,
well, it certainly didn't make any money anyway. So.
Yes, I'm saying they should never have made it. Harrison Ford was was only in it for what, 15 minutes? What a waste of my time. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, whatever. I know a lot of people like it, but it's a waste of waste of my time. I can't really speak for anybody else, but for me, it was slow, dull, and boring.
Boring.
Yeah, just boring.
Boring.
Yeah.
And what about you, Cockney?
Well, thanks to you guys, I've now got the blurb for the back of my book, because the central question: does it matter to you? Yes, buy this book. No, bye. Matter or not, the question
Does it
is,
matter? Does it matter to you? 1 hour. That's the thing.
Boom. Is Deckard a replicant? Is it subjective, rhetorical, moot? No! Once you suspend disbelief, the world of Los Angeles, November 2019, exists. Rick Deckard exists. Whether you or he knows the answer, the question and answer exists.
Do you think they set it too near in the future?
No.
No, they should have set it even more further into the future, because now
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
No,
they didn't.
perfect.
I was watching it today. They didn't even have any mobile phones.
No, they didn't, did they? Yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
they were having to use telephone.
It's a period piece. It's an alternate future historical period piece.
There was adverts for Pan Am.
Yeah, they were
in the background.
Yes, but this is okay for any
Coca-Cola's still
there,
around,
right? Any writers out there, Mega Geek? It's as canonical. This is canonically relevant because now it means that the Blade Runner takes place in a parallel universe.
Yeah,
their universe diverged from our own.
Yeah, I suppose
that is the writer's answer.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you're going to be canonically consistent,
that's the trendy way of saying it now, isn't it? So.
Well, I don't want to be trendy. It's just that if you want to get it into the film language, that the Burnett. When they hire me to write Blade Runner 3, I've basically got
what year would it be set in? Blade Runner
2069, of course, 69.
69.
Blade Runner 2069 going down.
Carry on, Blade Runner.
I think when you make films today, you've got to try and find a balance. You can't be too clever that people can't see 69. What's going on, but you've also got to be clever to show people what's going on as well. And I think a lot of serious filmmakers suffer from that. Like I was watching that film, as I was saying, with George Clooney, and there's all these hidden things in there. But for a normie, that wouldn't matter to them. They just watch it and be slightly bored or even enjoy it. But that's what I'm saying. If you're going to put something in a film that actually connects to what's happening, make sure that you can see it, that it's not clear, but it's more clearer. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
If you put hidden things in there and nobody sees it, what's the point? If you try to be too clever, what is the freaking point?
See, I'm with you on that.
As a filmmaker,
I'm the opposite. Just as
a viewer as well.
Yeah, no, but I'm all about putting in the little things in, because when you as a viewer, when I discover those things, I'm like, chef's kiss to the artist.
Well, they're
called
Easter eggs, are they not?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Blade Runner had so many things in that film.
Yeah,
that I see now, but unfortunately, it flopped in the box office. That's what I mean.
Right?
It's got to. You've got to try and find a way that.
Didn't someone say it's not about the money.
No, I'm just saying that people didn't understand.
Do you think Ridley Scott thinks that's the one that got away? Do you think?
It's the best film.
It's. You reckon? I kind of like
chalk.
I like Alien.
Yeah, Blade Runner, Alien.
Yeah,
real big fucking drop off after that, isn't
it? I guess.
Name me a third. Come on, you can't.
No, well, that was okay. I don't know. You're probably right. I mean, Alien and
Kingdom of Heaven?
Kingdom of
wait a moment. What about that film with Russell Crowe?
Yeah,
that was quite
boring.
Gladiator.
Stab.
I must admit, I did like Gladiator.
I like Gladiator. It was okay.
Yeah, once.
Once. It was all right.
Phoenix was all right. He rose from the ashes, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oliver Reed didn't. R.I.P.
When I write something or when I try to create something, I always try and make sure that there's some clever bits in there, but make sure that it's visible enough so that people can see it. Do you know what I mean?
Doctor
That kind of
Who. Hey,
That-
Doctor Who.
The TARDIS.
yeah, that
Sizzle
kind
reel.
of thing. Yeah, that
22 seconds.
that's what I think. As I said, but Blade Runner was so clever and so beyond its time.
How
This is the
dare
reason why
it.
people didn't connect with it.
Yeah,
That's why
it was
the story
very,
didn't
it was very,
Yeah.
very grown
Fuck
up.
off,
wasn't
clever
it?
clogs. Poof.
It's that, well, same thing with 2001, isn't it? 2001, they
Too
for life
bloody
me
clever.
now,
Too much
even
stinky
now.
thinky, Mr. Kubrick.
I still
So
think it's boring.
You can take your fake gravity pen on a glass wheel
Yes,
and
yeah,
fuck off,
that's
mate,
quite clever.
with your,
That-
But,
with your metaphor, your stupid
Amazing
apes, and
special
you're
effects.
thinking, and you're, oh, I had some LSD and went in a spaceship. Listen here, Mr. Kubrick, Mr. I can't be bothered to get in an aeroplane. Let's put Vietnam in the East End. Mr. Smart ass busy director. Ooh, you know what I mean?
But yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people say it's an experience when you go to see it in the cinema. But I saw it in the cinema, and I was bored, totally bored. And
Let's get some water and shine the reflections and film
It just-
That's going to make a good film, isn't it?
I'm just saying.
I'm just looking
Yes,
through
Governor Barnes.
Ridley
Anything.
Scott's films: Alien,
Yeah, I
Blade
like it.
Runner,
Yep, that's it.
Legend,
What's that? What's Legend?
More fucking unicorns,
Legend,
isn't it?
Legend.
Tom Cruise riding
That's
a
Legend.
unicorn.
Oh, Legend.
Yeah, Legend.
Unicorn.
That was okay.
Unicorn.
Someone to watch over me. I don't know what that is.
Boring thriller. Yawnville. No
Black
pew-pew.
Rain.
Oh,
Nuclear
I like
war.
Black Rain.
Yeah, it's all right.
Even though it was a simple, very, very simple story, I liked Black
Simple.
Rain.
That was
Simple.
Michael
Bang,
Douglas,
bang.
wasn't
Michael
it?
Douglas, yeah, and
Yeah.
Andy Garcia. I
Yeah.
liked that.
Thelma and Louise, which I,
I
still
like
haven't
that.
seen.
I like that too. I like that.
Suicide.
1492 Conquest
Bollocks.
of Dagenham.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Chicken
White,
pox.
White Squall. Don't know what that is.
Sailing.
G.I. Jane. I still haven't seen that. That's Demi Moore, wasn't
Demi
it?
Moore. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Gimme more. Pay rise.
She
Well,
had it in the
Did he
day.
do Black Hawk Down as well?
I'm getting to that, mate. Yeah, Gladiator was Gladiator.
Boring.
I like Gladiator.
Stab.
Hannibal.
No, I didn't
Simple,
like that one. Did not like it. It wasn't as good as the first
And
one.
then Black Hawk Down. That's a great film. is that?
That's his
I haven't
third
seen
one.
Black Hawk
Hawk,
Down.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it?
No, I should.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ah,
I haven't
That's-
seen it.
Ian, I'm sorry for the
amazing.
people at home. I'm going to swear that's a fucking great film. Is that,
seconded.
I shall seek it out then.
mate? Honestly,
Amazing.
if it's on TV, it's usually on kind of like UK Gold or something like that
Blu-ray.
on a weekend. If that is on, I will sit down and watch it. My
Yeah,
dad loves that. My
amazing.
dad loves that film.
Intense, visceral. It's
And
basically
he's
no plot.
92 and he loves
It's
it. It's
just all
fucking great
fighting.
film. It's a
It's
fucking
just-
great film.
I'll tell you what, yeah, if you like films that look, Mr. Kubrick, enough of your clever, we're gonna have 2 hours of shooting. Thank you very much. That's basically you get 20 minutes of foreplay, and then it's Irene, all units Irene, and then you get your war boner on, and it's shooty all the fucking way through. Fucking brilliant. It's all-star cast. Eric Bunner, brilliant. Just the quintessential soldier, special forces, Delta Force.
Is
Excellent.
Eric Banner in it?
Yeah, it's
Alright.
it's an all-star
on.
cast.
Bang
All-star.
on. The best speech
I
ever.
can't believe you've not seen it. That
No, I've not
genuinely,
seen it.
that
When the
genuinely
bullets
surprises
start
me.
flying, politics go out the window. You just watch your
I've,
corner and look after
I
your
assume
man.
you've got a big TV screen and soundbar and all that, yeah?
Yeah. Got
Oh,
all that
get
stuff.
it bought, get it watched.
Blu-ray.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Blu-ray.
Right, okay. 2003 Matchstick Men. I don't know what that is.
Matchstick Men.
Matchstick
Yeah.
Men. Oh,
Sounds very
uniform
gangster,
relevant.
but I don't know.
Haven't seen it.
2005 Kingdom of Heaven. Boring.
Boring.
Hmm.
Yawnville. All bland.
A Good Year. I don't know what that is. And then American Gangster. That was Denzel Washington, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then Body of Lies. Don't know what that is. And then
Schwarzenegger.
no,
Tony
that's
Curtis?
That's True Lies. And then
Body of Evidence.
Robin
Body of
Hood
Tech.
was the unofficial
Twerk.
sequel
Oh, that was
to
terrible.
the unofficial sequel to Gladiator.
Yeah,
that's
Robin
terrible.
Hood.
Bad. Awful.
Not watched
Men in
it. Not
Tights.
watched it.
Men in Tights.
Here's a good one. 2012 Prometheus.
Oh, it's a terrible
Ha!
movie.
Awful. Shite.
Terrible movie. Should never have been made. Terrible
Awful.
movie.
Looked
Ugh.
amazing. Bit shit.
I mean, look, it was absolute
worst.
shit. It was just didn't make any sense either.
Dog's
So,
dinner.
yeah,
2013 The Counselor. Don't know it.
that's terrible. I went to see that because I got invited to see it. It was one of the screenings, and I just was just bored out of my head.
2014 Exodus. God and Kings.
Don't know that one.
That was I think that was that big Egyptian thing. Was that
A pyramid?
the Ark, or I don't know, something like that. Fuck knows. Noah and the Ark. I don't know. The Martian.
That was good. I like The Martian.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Not seen it.
I got her number, asshole.
Matt Damon.
I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
I may
Good
check that
for
one out
you.
then.
Oh, good for you.
2017
27.
Alien Covenant.
Oh,
More
that was
shite.
terrible.
Bollocks.
Terrible.
Worse.
And why did I give him
Leave
more
it,
money?
Ridley.
Why did I give him more money to make the second one? I have no idea.
Those bean counters in Hollywood.
Because it's Ridley Scott, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Then All the Money in the World. Don't know what that is.
No idea. Oh, I do. I actually like that film. That's Christopher Plummer, isn't it? Christopher Plummer's in there.
Right.
I actually like that one.
Was that the
Based
one
on
where
true story?
he had to step into the role?
About
Because,
a plumber?
Yeah.
that was Kevin Spacey.
Yes.
Kevin got spaced off. He got erased, didn't
He got
he?
busted. The 2021, The Last Duel. Don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. I have no idea.
Right. It says here Gucci 2021 Metro. Don't know
Is
what
that
that's going to be.
documentary? Is that a documentary?
No idea.
Gucci. I have no idea.
And then he's doing something for Apple TV called Kitbag. He's also produced that. Is it? What's the space thing? Something with wolves or?
Oh, that one. Yeah. That's.
I forget what it's called.
Yeah. Apparently, it's meant to be really good, but I haven't had a chance to see it. But yeah, Raised by Wolves. That's what it's called, or something like that, isn't it? Raised by Wolves?
Here you go. Yeah, that's the one. Here you go, mate. This is for you, Ian, from one of our regulars, Real Ones. There you go.
Like
Can you see
down. Yeah. It's a good boner of a movie. Well, I will check it out. I'll check it out. Back all down.
If you've got the equipment to watch it on, you'll enjoy it, mate.
So good.
Because I know he's really, photography wise, you can always tell a Ridley Scott film. The photography is always beautiful.
Oh, you're gonna love it, mate.
So, but yeah, and the black's always black. And anything that he lights or anything that he makes, everything looks so nice. I mean, even Tony Scott, when you look at what is it, Beverly Hills Cop was directed by Martin Brest, the original version. Everything looked so, it was
Top
okay
Gun as well. Top Gun.
And then when Tony Scott took over, everything looked so slick in the second one, Beverly Hills Cop 2. It was actually wasn't very good as the first one, but
it was all right. It was all right. It was all right.
Yeah.
It could have been better, but yeah. Are we going to call it a draw at 1 hour 15? So we've got 2 minutes.
Depends if I can get back to actually answering that earlier question.
Well, you're going to.
If you stop wax lyrical, then and come to the point, you probably
can finish off then, Cockney. You can finish off. You've got 2 minutes, Cockney.
I'm
2 minutes.
So happy this
The floor is yours.
Because the record will show. Been trying to. The earlier question about Harrison Ford's opinion. General point. The opinion of the actor does not matter a fucking toss. I don't give a toss what Harrison Ford thinks, right? Stand in the corner, read
he
your lines.
He wanted Han Solo to die off so he can go fuck himself.
Exactly. I don't give a fuck what he thinks. Oh, I think Indiana Jones is a fucking replicant. I don't give a fuck what Harrison Ford thinks, right? He's the actor, not the bloody director. It's what the director and the writer, author intent. We didn't really cover it, but I would argue author intent is a lot fucking more more important than actor intent. And further to that, Harrison Ford, they go, so were you a Force Ghost apparition in episode 9? Oh, I don't give a fuck. Oh, now you got a fucking opinion. Fucking Deckard's a human. Fuck off, Ford. You know nothing. Go fly a plane.
Muppet.
There you go.
I was
First
going
point
to.
answered.
I was going to say that. Go fly a plane.
So we've barely touched me nose,
he crashed,
by the way.
didn't he?
Exactly, just
You go,
like his fucking
"Oops,
career.
oops,
Harrison
sorry."
Ford phoning it in since 1983.
Yeah. You know what? I totally agree with you there.
You
He
think
really
so? That
hasn't-
he's just
yeah,
the
he-
ultimate
just there.
fucking blagger.
He really
Yeah.
hasn't done anything good since, I don't know.
Last
I guess what is
Crusade.
it? Well, Last Crusade was brilliant, and when he
Mr.
did
Abrams' phone call, it's Harrison Ford's performance. I'll put it
Witness,
through.
when he done Witness, that he was good in Witness. You know.
What about
Amish.
Crystal? Is it the Crystal Skulls? Whatever the.
That was terrible.
That was better than Temple of Doom, Cock.
Temple of Doom was great.
The worst
That was,
one. Kate Capshaw looked like 1983 in an awful.
Dark as fuck. That was.
Yeah, I really
It's
liked it.
Hated it. I much prefer Crystal Skull Wank.
Child labour. Never get made today.
That's right. It will never get made today.
Well,
That's
probably
the
get
thing.
made by child labour, including the phone that you watch it on. That's the trend, isn't it?
I didn't like Crystal Skull. I thought the beginning scene was really good. You know, when
Yeah.
I like Crystal
you see the
Maze.
shadow of him putting his hat on the car, and when he goes through that thing, and and all the cars are chasing him. I thought that was really good. I was like, yay! And then the film just went downhill.
Are we ever going to get the last Indiana Jones?
Look, Steven Spielberg had jumped ship. He doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Harrison Ford, as Cockney Spock says, that he's not a very clever man, so he's going to do it apparently with another director. So there you go. So it's not going to be good, is it? It's not going to be good.
That hill.
He must be short of cash.
Yeah, maybe.
Why Harrison?
Why would you do it? That's the question.
K19. Yeah, Real Hones in the chat says K19. Was that the submarine film?
Yes, it was. It wasn't a very good film.
571.
No, the film. Yeah, I think that's what it was called.
Was it the Widowmaker or something?
That was it.
That's-
Something like that. Yeah.
Not that I've seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
I'll tell you what, I've got bad news for you though. I have got a closing point prepared. So that was just answering the first question.
We're overrunning, but we'll extend it for you, pal. Come on.
Stretch it to 120. But because I've learned along the way, I'm fascinated that I can get into a topic so much that I want to make videos and write a book about it. And then whilst writing that book, I get hit with an even bigger point after I've already decided to write a book about it. What I realised, the real answer is to directly contradict my earlier initial point of it really matters. Is it in universe? It doesn't matter. And to clarify, I don't mean it doesn't matter like who cares, meaning it doesn't matter, and I intentionally care that it doesn't matter. In other words, if you need a machine to find out if someone's a replicant or a human, it's clearly they're capable of doing a job, paying taxes. Let it go. It's like having a machine saying, "Are you a Jew? Are you a woman? Are you a Republican?" Before you guard DC. They're doing it now, aren't they? The void cunt test. Have you ever voted right wing? Have you ever watched the swastika go round and round? You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. Is the answer. In fact, I want to have in Blade Runner 3, we're going to have Blade Runner units hunting down
2069.
2069. We're basically hunting down these fucking racist pigs that want to scan you and decide whether they're going to shoot you in the back of the head. What the fuck? You're totally right. Earlier point, basically, Mega Geek, that really the replicants are the good guys.
He's doffing his cap at you.
Yeah, I want to.
They are. You're right.
You're right. No, you're right. The Blade Runners are the bad guys. Well discovered.
Yeah,
both of you are right.
Because
no, you're right.
They're sentient beings.
You all right?
Right?
Yes.
Aren't they? They're sentient beings. So I mean, you're murdering them. They have the they have the will to go left or right. It's not like they're robots. They're not robots. They're sentient beings. And so to kill them is basically murder. It's murder.
So it's the Blade Runner units that are basically they've got to be put out. So Blade Runner 3, 2069, Blade Running the Blade Runners.
And that's what Batty was saying at the ending, wasn't he? He was saying, I'm going to miss all these things. I'm going to miss. Why are
Why are they
Exactly.
going around killing them then?
Exactly.
If they only can live for 4 years, so wouldn't they die anyway?
Well, he did, didn't
that's
he?
the point. That's the point. But the point is that they obviously Deckard had to take them out because they were causing trouble, weren't they?
Oh yeah, they were causing trouble. Yes,
and plus it was against the law.
Is that the
By
difference?
causing trouble by existing on Earth.
They,
How fucking
they were
hell-
up to no. They were up to no
trouble.
good.
By
Well,
putting
right,
the fingers in between someone's eyes and squishing them, and killing the Chinese guy that was only looking after eyes. You know, they were causing trouble.
Just do the eyes.
You're up to no
Yeah,
fucking good, pal.
Well, as you alluded earlier, yeah. Apart from the murders, they were top geezers. But
They
then
were.
arguably, they wouldn't be put in that situation if existing wasn't illegal in the first place.
That's
so
right.
if you make someone a criminal, it can be a
1 hour
criminal,
20.
isn't it? There you go. So it is deep. It's deeper than I ever realised
I
myself.
totally agree with you. I mean, as I said, to me, they were the kind
Special
of
moment.
good guys, weren't they? They were just trying to live. That's all they were trying to.
How deep is that? See, that's really questioning who's the villain and who's the hero. I think that is science fiction. That is fiction.
At the ending, Batty was so respected life so much. He saved Deckard's life.
Deckard.
He saved his life. That's how much he loved life.
Yeah,
he could not see him die at that moment in time.
Now, sorry, but this is a perfect segue. Factual drop in for the nerds, because if, like me, you watch it for breakfast every day, a small detail I never noticed until last week, because I saw it on another YouTube video, is a tiny detail, but I just like the fact you can watch it a million times and arguably not see it. But now I'm going to point it out to you as if it just put there yesterday. A tiny detail, but also arguably the reason that Deckard's life gets saved by Roy Batty is in that moment where he's hanging on, just before he slips and just before he's caught, he slips, and for that 1 second he's falling, he spits in defiance at Roy Batty. I never noticed it. Go back, check your recording. He spits at Batty in each version, and that arguably is the reason that Batty saves him. Small detail changes everything. Boop, boop, mic drop.
Yep, I agree. Totally agree. Yeah.
I think I need to watch it.
It's a great movie, Blade Runner. Now I can say it's a great movie. As I said, you know, a lot of people take offense when you say originally when you saw it, it was boring, and then what are you talking about? And they go off on one and stuff like that. It's the same thing with.
You're right there. You see, that's a chapter in the book now. Thanks very much.
But as I said, you know, you've got to be an adult to enjoy it. You know, if I put my sister's kids to sit down and watch Blade Runner, they'd be bored out of their skull. Do you know what I mean? So you got to be an adult to watch something like Blade Runner and to appreciate it too. So
it would be totally lost on today's generation because there's
of
not
course
enough flashy, blinky lights and explosions and all that shit.
Well, that's where the reflections will come in handy, because at least you have got some pretty lights as well. Ooh,
yeah. I you know, as I said, I missed. I 2 years ago I watched the original version, and I remember watching the director's cut, and I missed the voiceover. Even a lot of people hate the voiceover.
Yeah.
I love the voiceover for some reason. I don't know.
Here we
why.
go. We've got a question from Real Hunes.
Ooh.
Or a statement. Are the humans the bad guys?
I think so.
The Blade Runners are.
Yeah. I probably think they are, yeah.
I think they are. As I said, you know, they weren't really, you know, obviously they murdered people. Well, Blatty murdered people. But, you know, to actually kill Pris in that way, do you know what I mean? I mean, what was she doing? She was just looking for a home, or, you know, she had nowhere to go. And
I've not got that far yet.
Oh, sorry.
That was Daryl Hannah's
Daryl
character.
Hannah, yeah, Daryl Hannah's character.
She had the black eye makeup on, didn't she?
Yeah, she didn't look very good in that film, but you know, but there you go.
Amazing. She's quite glam in other roles. So
yeah, she is.
quite
Yeah,
versatile.
Yeah. You know, and all that bit. You know, there's a lot of bits where it just meanders. Like there's a scene in it where he's drinking his coffee, whatever, and you see that shot when he's in there, the window, and the things going by in the car.
A bit like Cockney Spock.
What's the point of that shot? You know, stuff like that.
I did. I did. I did it in November 2019. I had it and everything. I contrived. I was like, this is actually pretty much like Blade Runner. I did. You got me there. How did you know?
Yeah, Blade Runner. Blade Runner is a good movie. The second one.
Anyway.
The second one's not very good in my opinion. I didn't care about any of them.
I think that's another discussion.
Yeah.
Another video for another time.
We'll call it a draw at 1 hour 30. So we've got 5 minutes.
Yes, we got the 90 out. Squeezed out the 90 from the Brown. Squeezed him like a fucking tea bag. Hey.
I must admit, I thought I was going to be struggling with this one because I've not, as I said, I've not seen it in a long time, and I thought I'd better just kind of revisit.
No, it's good.
I totally agree, Ian, with what you say about when we watched it originally. It was like, what the fuck's this?
Yeah. I mean, the only things that you could have gone to as a kid was the violence in it. Because at the time when I was 16 and I saw the violence, and I thought, the violence is cool, but everything else is boring.
I just think it was way above our. It was just way above our heads, wasn't it?
Violence is cool.
Yeah.
Else
I mean,
who
was the Cockney Spock? What was the character's name? The girl with the snake.
I don't know, I've never seen it. Zora.
Yeah, that was Joanna Cassidy. She was in.
Yeah,
do you remember? 240
She brought her own
Robert?
snake.
Now, what I'm saying is, what's the character's name in Blade Runner?
Zora. Z-H-O-R-A. Zora.
So she was just dancing, whatever, and trying to earn a crust.
Scratching a living. Yeah.
Taking
and
the
he comes
pleasure
in
from the snake that once corrupted man.
He comes in and he shoots her in the back. Do you know what
While
I mean?
she's running away through several
away.
panes of glass.
Yeah.
I mean, it was visually arresting, I'll give you that.
But at that moment in time, right, when I watched it again, the film was literally saying to you, you know, what he's doing is wrong, because he felt sick, didn't he? When he was literally saying he felt sick, because you know, he just murdered this woman, shot her in the back for what? Do you know what I mean?
Just basically being on this list.
Yeah, all she wanted to do was live and do her thing.
Yeah,
but you know, his orders is to eradicate them, and it's like, well, why? He doesn't even ask the question. He doesn't even ask the question, does he? He doesn't ask the question.
Rayal has piped in with a Blade Runner is a question to ourself.
Question of ourself.
Sorry, of ourself.
Honest is correct. Good. Well said, sir.
We appreciate you being on here, Rayal. It's nice to have a regular who we can interact with, isn't it, guys?
We like our regulars. Oh,
so we appreciate you popping in, my friend.
Yep, definitely. Up the Real Hornets. We always support your football on the Saturday, mate.
And Sklavko, our regular from Serbia, top man.
So
we have 3 minutes.
Okay.
So
I want to say I've had a lovely time. It was perfect. We had arguments, we had joy, we had vivra, we had ups, we had
there was
downs,
passion. There was passion.
Coughing,
it's interesting.
I love
Cockney
it.
Spock says we've had arguments. I haven't had an argument on this. I've had a discussion.
He has, in his own mind, he has.
In his mind, he's had an argument.
I think there was 1 minute where we were debating a fact.
That's called a heated discussion. It's not an argument. If we were arguing, if we argue,
whether we're arguing,
we'd be calling each other names.
I've come for an argument. No, that's a row.
Yeah, a row argument.
I've come for an argument. No, you haven't.
Yes, you have.
Yes, you have.
No, you haven't. Yes, you have.
Is this a test?
Monty Python.
All right, we've had. All right, basically, you managed to. You sir, managed to elicit an emotional. You are Void Camp for sure. You managed to elicit an emotional response from Cockney Spock, something that will never be seen again in 500 upcoming episodes of Mr. Brown. What has he let himself in for?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I know.
Why is the turtle on its back? That's what I want to know. I mean, why? Why can't you turn him over?
You see a franchise, Kathleen, and you turn it on its back. Franchise, what's that? Yeah. You know what a Star Trek is?
He didn't like that statement. It blew his mind, didn't it?
Yeah. What do you mean? Totally. What do you mean I can't help it?
You're not helping. Do you know what? Actually, on the wrapping up on the 78th view, on the 78th view, there's something that made itself self-apparent. Is that basically it's like this show? It's a lot of interrupting because basically Holden just wants.
Well, when you're on this,
he's got 28 more potential skin jobs just before lunchtime.
Yeah,
and Leon actually keeps basically getting him off the track. You're in the desert. What desert? And basically, obviously, after 78 views, I realised the subtext is Holden's going, "Will you shut the fuck up, you fucking muppet? Let me ask the question." It's very subtle.
Question for last question.
29 minutes.
Yeah, go on.
Is this stream better not having our friend from the post Geek.
Oh no, it would have been
We-
even better. How can you
We
even say
invited
that?
Robert
Oh.
on, but
All right.
we're too low down in the weeds, in
Of
the
course,
mud.
it would have been better.
So-
If he's going to be listening to this, it would have been better. He's like the director.
It's missed out.
Warming up. He's going to watch this all the way through and go, "Okay, these guys are worthy. They didn't even talk politics. I'm coming on." And well, Doomcock on my team though, so it's Doomcock for the win because basically that's my
15 seconds.
To wrap up, basically, the central argument is he a replicant? Well, the short answer is Doomcock says he's a replicant. Burnett says he's a human.
I
Case
think
closed.
he's a replicant.
He's a replicant. Those are the two reasons why. Case closed. Good night.
I would love.
Nice timing.
I would love to think that he's human, and you know, and that's how it was left to me anyway in the original version. So,
Right.
Boop boop. Headcanon.
quite
Okay.
frankly, I don't care whether he's human or not. All I care about is how much enjoyment I got out of that
Well,
movie.
it's you've probably had more fun discussing it than you actually got out the film. but there
Watching
you
it.
go.
But when I was
Right,
16
guys. Yeah, right, guys. All I
Yeah.
can say is thank you. Genuinely appreciate both of you turning up.
So do I.
No worries.
It's it's a nice way to pass 1 hour 31 minutes.
was 1 hour.
1 hour 31 minutes.
How was it? Wow.
Wow.
Can you believe
the
that?
sequel.
We were going to stop at an hour, but yeah, we're still here. Guys in the chat, cheers for popping in, lads. We'll see you
Cheers, chat.
soon. As I said, we're around. We'll pop up somewhere. So
Double
cheers,
D, yeah.
guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Adios. Adios.
Yeah.